Mental toughness isn't loud. It doesn't show up screaming in the gym or posting motivational quotes online. It's quieter than that. It's built in silence, when no one's watching, when things fall apart, and when the easy option is quitting. Real toughness is subtraction. It's knowing what to stop doing. And that's what we're breaking down today. 7 things mentally tough people never do, because these mistakes don't just slow you down, they break you from the inside. Cut them now, or pay for them later. 1. They never beg for understanding. Mentally tough people know that the need to be understood is one of the most dangerous addictions. It sounds innocent, just wanting others to get you. But needing that's a trap. That's how energy leaks. That's how focus dies. They've learned the hard way. Some people aren't capable of understanding you. Others don't want to. And some will pretend to manipulate you. So they stop pleading for clarity. They stop explaining every move, every motive, every mistake. They move in silence and let results speak. If someone can't meet them at their level of self-awareness, they don't lower themselves. They walk away. Because Stoicism isn't about being cold, it's about protecting your peace. And if understanding requires losing your dignity, then it's not worth the price. They don't beg to be seen. They choose to be disciplined enough to keep walking, alone if they have to. 2. They never let emotions lead the first strike. Anger is seductive. It feels righteous, feels powerful. But mentally tough people know that the first emotional response is usually the most foolish. That first hit of rage or fear or panic, it's noise. And they've trained themselves to sit with it, not act on it. They don't send that text. They don't slam the door. They don't yell just to release pressure. They absorb it, analyze it, turn it into fuel. This is where the Stoic concept of prohairesis, the ability to choose your response, becomes everything. A man in control of his reaction holds all the power. The one who explodes first loses. So they let the world swing first. Then they strike, if it's necessary, and only when the moment is right. Emotion doesn't make decisions for them. Principle does, reason does, and when they respond it cuts clean, like a scalpel, not a tantrum. 3. They never turn pain into identity. Pain will come. Loss, betrayal, humiliation. It finds everyone. But mentally tough people don't wear it like a badge. They don't use it to introduce themselves. They don't build their personality around suffering. There's a difference between learning from pain and becoming it. Stoics taught that pain is an external event. It's not who you are. What matters is what you do with it. Turn it into wisdom. Let it sharpen your discernment. Let it expose who's real around you. But don't let it become your story. Because the moment pain becomes identity, you stop growing. You protect the wound. You become addicted to sympathy instead of resilience. Mentally tough people carry scars, not excuses. They don't milk their trauma. They build from it, quietly, without applause, without needing anyone to validate how hard it was. That's how they stay free and forward-facing. 4. They never apologize for standards. In a world that's obsessed with being agreeable, mentally tough people offend people just by existing, because they have standards for who they allow into their space, for how they spend time, for how they speak, eat, sleep, work, and live, and they don't apologize for it. Weak minds take standards personally. They think boundaries are insults. But mentally tough people don't shrink to avoid friction. They know not everyone will understand. Not everyone will like it. That's the point. They'd rather be respected than liked, rather be alone than diluted. And they know this. The moment you start apologizing for your standards, you've already surrendered. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. They've done the internal work. They've bled for those standards, so they protect them like armor. And anyone who tries to erode them gets one warning, then distance. No drama, no shouting, just exit. 5. They never chase chaos disguised as passion. There's a type of person that burns bright, intense, magnetic, unpredictable, and dangerously addictive. Most people confuse that energy for passion, for depth. But mentally tough people see through it. They don't chase chaos just because it feels exciting. They've been burned by it before. They know the thrill of emotional instability masquerading as chemistry, and they know it never ends well. Stoic philosophy teaches the value of ataraxia, inner stillness, and nothing disturbs that faster than chasing people or lifestyles built on volatility. The highs aren't worth the lows. Mentally tough people want real peace, not performative drama. Substance over spectacle. Quiet consistency over emotional fireworks. So when the unstable comes knocking, wrapped in charisma and charm, they don't get pulled in. They don't confuse intensity with loyalty. They know the difference between fire that warms and fire that burns the house down. 6. They never get drunk on victories. Most people break discipline after they win, not after a failure. That's when they celebrate too early. They relax, they talk, they let their guard down, and that's how they lose. Mentally tough people don't let success blind them. They know that every win plants the seed of the next threat, complacency, and nothing destroys potential faster than thinking the battle's over because one fight was won. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that praise is empty, that glory fades, that self-control must remain constant. So they treat victories like data, not identity. They study what worked, reinforce the systems, and go right back to sharpening the blade. Quietly. No need to flaunt anything. No desire to be celebrated for what's expected. Tough minds stay focused, because the minute you get high on the last win, you stop building the next one. And that's how kings become fools. 7. They never attach their worth to outcomes. The world is addicted to results, numbers, metrics, applause. But mentally tough people play a different game. Their sense of worth isn't up for auction. They focus on process, not prizes. Who they become in the doing, not just what gets done. This is pure Stoic thinking. Epictetus taught that some things are in your control, others aren't. You can show up, work hard, make the right choices. But the outcome, not always yours to command. So why tie your value to it? They don't let success inflate them, and they don't let failure break them. Their core identity is anchored in discipline, effort, and integrity. That's the part no one can take. They still want results, of course, but they don't need them to feel worthy. And that's what keeps them dangerous, focused, untouchable. A storm could hit, and they'd still show up the next morning, ready, because that's who they are. Mental toughness isn't about being hard, it's about being clear, intentional, unshakable in your values. These 7 things, they're silent killers of growth. They sneak in, dressed as kindness, passion, even success, and they rot your foundation from the inside out. But once they're gone, once you cut them, everything changes. You move differently. You see people for who they are. You stop apologizing for your strength, and your life begins to align with something deeper than comfort or approval. That's what this channel is about. Not hype, not hacks, just real tools for real mastery. If you're building that kind of life, subscribe, stay locked in, and check the description below. I've curated the most powerful tools for inner growth, discipline, and unbreakable mindset. Because in a world full of noise, the only way forward is with a mind that cannot be shaken. We're just getting started.